So there is Frank Warren on his take and thoughts on Martin Bakole versus Moses Atoma. And as you guys can see, Frank Warren dismisses Bakole as the next opponent for Moses Atoma. He's too slow. Wow. Warren emphasized that Atoma is seeking more impactful bouts to continue his impressive 12-0 professional run. Bakole responded, expressing openness to the fight, but questioned its value, stating that Atoma is not yet ready for a bout at his level. Atoma is set to return to the ring July 19th at Wembley Stadium, of course, on the undercard, as we just was announced. And let me counterpunch. I don't think so, but I do feel that it's a wash. You know, no one sees the value, right? So Atoma, or should I say Frank Warren, that speaks for Atoma, feels that he's too slow, okay? He's not impactful enough based on his resume. Okay, fair play. Bakole feels that, no, he is not on my level, so I'm not interested in that. And, you know, according to his manager, Billy Nelson, they're supposed to be looking at a high-profile fight as well. So, you know, I don't see the value anyway for any of these guys to fight. One's too young and still in development, and the other one is so far to the point where he's deep in the Riyadh season and he's looking for a title shot because he feels, along with his team, that he should have got an opportunity years ago. You know, not more than Michael Hunter, I would say, but, you know, there you go. So I never really understood the relevance of the fight anyway, because of where they are in their career. You got one guy that's 33 and another guy that's 20. That's 13 years of experience there. I feel there's way other opponents besides Martin Bakole. You know what I mean? And this is what happens, though, when a young fighter that's up and coming is seeming to be indestructible. You know what I mean? He's seeming to do so many things at a rapid rate that you're just scrambling and scraping for other fighters that could compete with him, which can be a good thing, but it can be a very bad thing, because what it is, it makes you overestimated. You know what I mean? Because people start looking for you. People start trying to match you up with these fighters, and they try to go so far up without realizing it's still growth there to be made. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is still growth in Moses Atoma. You know what I mean? There's things that he can work on. You know, he may need to change trainers, a lot of people say. You know what I mean? That's neither here or there, but there's a lot of things that Moses can work on. There's a lot, you know, he hasn't even got in the rounds that he even wants. So I think, and he knows that he wants a certain amount of rounds to get the experience of going those rounds. You see what I mean? Because sometimes in the fight game, it's more like track. It's more like a marathon instead of a sprint. You see what I mean? Sometimes you're not going to knock everybody out, and then Moses is looking for that type of fighter. You see what I mean? So I think this is a good thing. So we can put this Bakole Atoma issue to rest, because it's not ready anyway. You know what I mean? It's not even the case. So both guys don't see the value in each other, so let it go. But you guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren stating that Martin Bakole is too slow. And let me counter that real quick. He's not too slow. You know what I mean? He is not too slow. I think the thing is, he may be a little bit too dangerous for that. But, you know, I think that was Frank just showing, you know, I think that's all cap. You know what I mean? He's just too slow. That was disrespectful, I feel, but it is what it is. This is Frank Warren, a.k.a. Brick Top, in the building. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys can counterpunch. Peace!